We are back. It's been a while, but we are finally back at it. So I'm going to go ahead and overlay the workout footage from tonight, let that play while we discuss back to the basics. So I have kind of gotten off the beaten path and I got bored with my training and I got to the point where I was just like, I need something different. I need to do something different because when I did my 75-day boiled chicken and brown rice diet, right, I wasn't going to break the diet, but something had to give because it was just so boring. So I changed the training up several times because, I've said it a million times. I'm not married to any program, any specific amount of sets or reps or any type of dogma style religion training. So I switched things up to make it more interesting because I couldn't change the diet up. At least I didn't want to change the diet up. But now that I'm done with that that diet, I'm going back to the basics. So right now I'm doing meat and rice. I'm doing ground meat and rice 6 times a day. I'm doing 3 pounds of ground meat over the course of the day, 12 ounces of white rice measured dry, which whatever it swells up to is whatever it swells up to after it's cooked. And that's it. That's all I'm doing. It comes out to 3,200 calories a day. I'm very basic, very simple diet with some beef stock in every meal. And then from there, my workout routine is going to be 6 days a week, training everything twice a week, doing 4 movements, 4 sets of each movement, 8 to 12 reps, slow controlled, hard squeezes, top contractions, and then slow, elongated stretches and negatives. Not on everything, but for the most part. And I think it's easy to get, I'm not going to say for everybody, for me, it's easy for me to kind of get bored with the program really easy and it's not that I don't see results, it's just I get bored of doing the same program. If I don't have a goal or if I don't have anything I'm working towards or building up to, it gets very difficult for me to stay on track with the training program because I just want to have fun when I'm in there and then it just becomes like mindlessly boring.
Well, for you, like you've always had things where either you were looking to compete with the powerlifting meet or whatever it might have been, and even now, like you had the river trip coming up, and you wanted to redo your 1 year difference posing and stuff, and then we have this thing where after the middle of the year to the end of the year, there's nothing really to look forward to until January rolls around again, and then you're like, well, the river's coming up.
Got to tighten up.
kind of thing. So it makes it a little more difficult second half of the year to find those little motivations. But gonna try and do it a little better this year. Like both of us, me more than you particularly, have a lot more room to improve. But with going into this one, if we can stick to it, and with the training as it is right now, I enjoy doing this training style. It's difficult, but not so difficult that you hate going in there. And it's like it keeps me challenged enough to where I'm enjoying the workouts and I like the soreness feeling and like the muscle burns and stuff and just the results in the end of it. And it allows me to have those like little treats sometimes on the weekend without worrying so much about how it's affecting me, like in the big picture of things kind of stuff.
For me, I think with you, it's you still have that powerlifting mentality that's embedded into your brain. I feel like it's hard for you to like completely turn that off.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I like to see progress. So that's the thing. Like whenever I do this style of training, like I can't really measure I know a progressive overload, I can mark down my sets and my reps and I can try to beat like either 1 rep or 1 pound every single week. But the style of training we're doing, it's not designed to get super crazy strong. When you're doing slow negatives, when you're taking 1 to 3 seconds on the negative, you're doing a hard contraction at the top with elongated stretch. You're not going to be able to get really strong really fast in those movements, and you're not even really going to be able to get strong. You're gonna hit a wall really quickly, but it doesn't mean you're not getting better. It doesn't mean you're not like advancing with hypertrophy and with bodybuilding and weight loss. It's just with strength. I've always been more geared towards strength athletes, like strength training and just being powerful and big and eating whatever I want and being fat and gross and strong and looking great in a shirt and just disgusting, shirtless. But so like I said, getting back to the basics of doing this style training, what my goal is right now for the next 90 days, this is day 1. I know I said I was going to start 90-day carb cycling, but To be completely honest, I got to keep it simple. For me, I just have to keep it stupid simple. And then doing this style training is incredibly simple. It's not overthought. It's not overcomplicated. It's not some, you know, time sets, reps versus this versus that. And then the diet isn't like super methodically in depth thought of. It's just meat and rice 6 times a day with a certain amount every single day in the same times. And then it makes it easy for adjustments because if I feel like I'm starting to lose energy in the gym, it's as simple as like I need more energy, so let me increase my carbs. Well, by how much? Well, let's go up to 14 ounces a day instead of 12 ounces a day. And again, those are raw measurements. Those are not after it's cooked and swelled up. So, and if I go up to 2 ounces more, I'm getting another 35 grams of carbs throughout the day, divided over the course of 6 meals. That's not enough. Let me go up another 2 ounces. Let me go up another 2 ounces. Well, I need more protein. How much more protein? Let me go by another half a pound a day. It keeps measurement super easy for adjustments. If I need to go down on something for weight loss, or if I need to go up on something, and I can monitor my weight every single week a lot more consistent, not seeing these big huge fluctuations of, you know, 3 pounds a day, down 6 pounds tomorrow, up 9 pounds, down 4 pounds, because the water weight and the retention from the carbohydrates and sodium, it's all over the place with that diet. And I'm more of a routine, structured, day in and day out, same thing, monotonous over and over when it comes to dieting. Training, like I said, I do get bored, but this time, these 90 days, I'm just going to try to keep it stupid simple and to the basics. The basic movements, dumbbell flies, barbell rows, straight bar curls, wide grip pull downs, just the basic movements. Now, there's some movements I can't do, like squats and deadlifts, obviously, because my joints just don't like those. So I'm just going to avoid the movements that hurt, keep to the basics that do work, that I know that work, that are tried and true, and just try to stay like focused and like just laser like vision on what the end result is. And I've said it so many times. My abs, I want to get my abs, I want to get my abs. The goal, you said, is the river every year. Well, my goal needs to be a competition, right? I need to just do it. I need to just pick a date and go for it. So the rest of this year, I know, oh, here we go, another year. For the rest of this year, I'm going to focus on just eating meat and rice. I'm saying 90 days, but for the rest of the year, I'm going to try to do this diet with this style training and see what the outcome is at the end of the year. Whether I put on size or I get my abs, doesn't matter. But next year, I'm gonna hire a coach. I'm gonna plug it, and I'm just gonna be like, this show, I want to do it, and just go for it, whatever the outcome is. Because if I don't do that, I'm never gonna fully commit to this, and I want to fully commit, and I have to keep it simple, and I have to keep it straightforward. Because if I don't, I'm gonna fall off the track. I do every single time.
For me, like, you're doing 6 meals a day for you. I've dumbed it down even more. Instead of having to make so many meals for myself throughout the day, I do more or less like 3 to 4 meals throughout the day, but they're just a little bit bigger in portion size. That way I'm not having to carry so much to work and deal with trying to figure out my break times and stuff depending on how my work day is going. And then with the training that we're doing, like you said it quite a few times before, like when you're hot, you cook, kind of thing.
Oh yeah.
And that works great with the style that we're doing right now because, again, it's not really strength oriented or strength focused, but there could be a day where you go in there and you know what, like I'm feeling it today for this movement, and you put more weight than what you probably did last week or like whatever, and you go at it and you're like, yeah, and you feel great and you keep on going until it kind of burns out. But when it burns out a little bit, you don't have to go like, oh, well, I got to keep it going. Like I have to keep it going because I got to hit this next number kind of thing. You can go like, okay, it's starting to cool off a little bit now, reduce down, and still you're getting that same strain, still doing everything, and you're still feeling everything like you're wanting to, but you didn't have to stick to a certain, like, I have to hit here, and if I don't, then I'm regressing kind of thing, because it's not the goal of the number, it's the goal of the feel. Did I feel it where I'm wanting to train? And if I did, if I'm able to push harder on it today, great. If I go in there the next time, because we work out everything twice a week, when we go back in the next time to work out, if I'm still pretty tender and sore, probably not going to go quite as hard today. I'll go as hard as I can. But if it starts to kind of be a little bit more of a bother, I was like, okay, I'll back off a little bit and I'll stay in this range right here. I'll still get a good workout in. Everything will feel great. End of the day, I made progress.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, me?
Oh no. Okay. So speaking of the progress, so I did 75 days on boiled chicken and rice, and I stuck to that diet pretty religiously. And I went from 235 pounds down to 206 in 75 days. 29 pounds. A lot of it was water weight too. And then I ballooned back up to 225. So I put, what is that? 21 pounds back on. A lot of it was water weight, but a lot of my size came back too, though, because my arms were like 15 and a half, and now they're like 16 and 3/4. So I've gained like 1.25 inches on my arms in this last month. It's been a month since we ended that diet and we stopped training like that, and I've gained 1.25 inches. So you can't tell me, oh, that 21 pounds is all fat. No, it's not. There's a lot of integral muscle volume, water retention, and stuff like that, and everything. So I want to go another 90 days, and I want to push myself in the meat and rice, and I want to the ground meat and rice, and I want to push myself on the style training for 6 days a week and see what the outcome is. Like I said, the goal is to get leaner. The goal is to get bigger. It's not to get fat, and it's not to get scrawny. Like I want abs, but I don't want to lose my size in the pursuit. Now, I know you have to get flat to lose the fat, and it's a popular saying like, oh, in order to lose the fat, you have to get flat. I understand that. I'm not afraid of getting flat. I know the difference of getting. Okay, to an extent. So my last diet, I was losing a size as well. I did get really, really flat, but they got to the point where I started looking sickly. It wasn't just like, oh, well, he's just flat because he's restricted so much. I started doing 40 minutes of cardio in the morning, 30 minutes in the evening, working out 6 days a week, and I started looking really sickly. And then once I started adding the food back in, I filled out and I looked great.
See, but I feel like
3
you
weeks.
thought you looked sickly because of that powerlifting mentality in your brain. Because to me, you didn't look sickly.
Well, I felt I looked
That's
sickly.
what I'm saying. That's in your own.
And I'm like, I look like a walking stick figure of death,
But you
and I
did
still
not.
don't have abs, right? It's like, still don't have abs. Fat and gross, scrawny arms with no abs and looking sickly and sunk in. At 206 pounds, looking sickly skinny,
You
you know?
did not look sickly, skinny at all.
To me, I
But this is
feel
what I'm
like I
talking
did.
about. You do that. It's like you want to have your cake and eat it too.
Yes, I do. That's
And
why
you
I think.
can't.
I think that's why I'm going to try to keep a shirt on in the gym, because normally I should work out without a shirt because I can show all the there's no hiding. There's no hiding behind it, right? It's like, this is what I look like. Like, there's no gimmicks here. It's fat and gross in every lighting. But when I start seeing myself without the pump, and then with the pump, and then I'm deflated, and then with the pump, without the pump, deflated, with the pump, without the pump, deflated, it starts getting demoralizing. Just like, you're such a failure. Like how you're losing everything. It's a downward spiral, and it's definitely a mental drain. Whenever you have this image of how you look, it's a vicious cycle, because like you see yourself with a pump and you can see everything you could be, right? And you lose the pump and you get flat, and then you're like, what happened? Like, it's just like overnight, like, what happened? It's like the worst.
Yeah, I'm a little bit different. I think I look good in it and what I'm wearing, and I look in the mirror, I'm like, oh my god, I still look bad.
Okay, so you've lost weight though,
Yeah.
which let's talk about this for a little bit. So you started your diet the beginning of this year, and I don't know if you want to say your weights. I don't know.
Well, no, because I had major surgery in March.
Well,
and
that's
then-
why I said, like, at
yeah.
the beginning of the year. So okay, the first 3 months of the year you just kind of relaxed, and then you had your surgery in March. You had your hysterectomy.
I started eating better to like heal better for my surgery. Remember the first 3 months I didn't work out, but I changed my eating habits and my diet
Right.
to healthier things.
Yeah, and then after you recovered from your surgery, you started dieting, you started training, and then
Yeah.
you lost quite a bit of weight. I don't know if you want to say just the weight number or what you were to what you went to.
Yeah, I was 180 pounds and went down to 155.
Yeah, and that was in the span of like 2.5 months, right?
Right, yeah.
Which is great weight loss and stuff. And you didn't do anything crazy either. You didn't go on some big, huge restricted diet. You just started eating less. You were pretty much kind of doing intermittent fasting. You didn't necessarily stick to it 100%, but you basically cut your eating off around like 6 o'clock in the afternoon. You didn't start eating until around 9 o'clock in the morning. And then what you ate, you were selective. You made better choices, but you weren't restricted. Like, I have to only eat this and this only. You're like, I'm going to eat this. You watched your calories. And
No, it was pretty consistent at the beginning. I would do half my bagel and my protein shake, and then I would do a salad at noon, and then I would do chicken nuggets.
that's what I'm saying. Chicken nuggets. She's eating chicken nuggets for her diet and sweet potato French fries.
Well, they're
So-
healthier. They're good ones.
So that's what I mean by, like, she wasn't restricted like eating boiled chicken brown rice, right? She was eating,
I was a lot nicer to be around.
yeah, I was pretty miserable. I was pretty wretched to be around, that's for sure. I wasn't a pleasant person. But anyways, and then you were working out, not crazy intense and doing massive amounts of cardio, but you were being consistent with the weight training.
I'd say the last couple months. Well, because my surgery was in March, and there's 2 months where I couldn't do anything because I wasn't supposed to work out after the surgery. So March, April, May. So May to July, I was pretty. Like,
Yeah.
I was always in there.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, you weren't like going till failure, like you're almost dying. Like you were in there and you're getting a good workout and you were pushing yourself, but not like crazy, super aggressively hard, and you're yielding great results. Like
Yeah.
others, what I'm trying to get at is you don't have to get in there and do the most crazy extreme workouts, and you don't have to do the most crazy extreme diets to see really great results.
Right.
And you had really good results in a short amount of time with just doing more than what you were doing before. And just by simply doing something is better than doing nothing, and that's what you were doing.
I was running too, remember? And then we
Yeah.
were going for bike rides.
Yeah, and you did good there for a minute, but we kind of fell off once your birthday hit in July. We kind of fell off for a month. I mean, I was still working out, and I'm still pretty much dieting Monday through Friday. But I'll be honest, like these last 4 weeks, I really haven't cared on the weekends. Like Monday through Friday, I've been strict to myself, but Saturday, Sunday, I've just kind of been like, man, whatever. You know, I went 75 days without having a single cheat meal. Like I'm going to enjoy myself before I jump right back into another diet. So Monday through Friday, I was great. Saturday, Sunday, you know, I'm drinking a 6-pack of IPA, smoking up a rack of ribs, making fried macaroni balls. You know, like this is just on the weekends. And like I said, you can say, well, that's where your 21 pounds came from. And it probably is, but it's going to come back off fast, and I'm going to rebound. And I'm going to lose the weight back quickly, and I'm going to look better than I did when I got down to 206. When I get back down there, I'm going to look even better than I did before, because I've had time to let my body respond, recover, refill back up, and have a break from it. So now my body's ready to push again. I'm mentally ready. I'm physically ready. So I just got to keep it to the basics, just simple to the basics.
Yeah.
Like I can't get too caught up in my own head about all the nuances of this, that, and the other, and what might work a little bit better than this or a little bit better than that.
That's what I have to remind you all the time.
So, and as far as it goes for nutritional value, I know white rice and red meat, there's not a whole lot of nutrition on there, but I'm taking vitamins and minerals for all my micronutrients. I'm not going to be trying to get it through various amount of foods, because honestly, when I started adding in like the carrots and
Spinach,
the spinach and the bell peppers, all that stuff, I started getting achy joints. And I'd get achy joints here and there, but I didn't really start experiencing like bad achy joints in my knuckles and my knees and my hips until I started bringing vegetables in. Now, to play devil's advocate, could have been the beer. Could have been the beer or the whiskey. But I'm going to go ahead and say it was vegetables.
Oh my goodness.
That's my easy out for that right there. Hey, when I take my vitamins for the first like 5 hours of the day, when I urinate, it is like gold. So it's just like, it's doing something, right? It doesn't turn your urine that color gold if it's not doing something. And a lot of people don't know this, but when you take vitamins, you have to take it with fat. Vitamins are fat soluble. So if you don't take fat with your vitamins, they don't absorb.
Yeah.
You can take, not everybody, but some people can take 50, 60,000 IUs of vitamin D and never even see a change in their blood work, and it still stays low. You start taking 16 to 20 grams of fat with your vitamin D, your vitamin levels are going to skyrocket, because it can't absorb without the fat. It's just how it is.
Right.
So like there's essential amino acids, there's essential fatty acids. You have to have fat in your diet. That's why whenever I was on the boiled chicken and rice diet, I added olive oil into my rice, because I knew I needed some form of fat, but I wanted to control the exact amount of fat I was getting. So I was getting around 45, 50 grams of fat a day is what I was getting, which is enough to allow vitamins and minerals to absorb, but not going so much where like I was going to have an issue with too many calories and stuff like that, which I was only getting 2,600 calories a day, which isn't very much. So right now I'm getting, 32, so it's not that big of a gap. It's just the style of food that I'm getting is completely different.
Right.
Yep. So anything else y'all want to add, or are we good on this one?
No, we'll talk some more tomorrow.
Well,
Maybe.
Wednesday. Unless you want to do it every day. We can do a
No, we'll
podcast.
talk to y'all Wednesday. Bye.
All right, guys. So that's going to be it for this one. Thank you for watching. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.